Right, so welcome to the second class. In the previous video, we decided to split these two walls we decided to split it so we can adjust the height. So now what I want to do is to adjust this one and then this other one to the left. I want to adjust it. So I click both walls. I'm going to come to the height here. The height, wall height, and then I make it 2,400. That's the height of the wall, basically. Now, the next thing I want to do is to go back to the ground floor and I'll start working with this slab. I'll start working on the slab, sorry. So I will go to my slab tool. I double click on the slab tool. I make this 450. This first part is what's it called now? The bottom tile, which is you can make it whatever material you feel like. The one to the side is the edge of the building. I think for this particular model, the edge and the bottom basically have the same type of material. The edge of the tile and the wall of our building have the same material type. That's what I'm trying to say. And then this other one is just the bottom. It doesn't really matter. So I can deselect that. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to adjust this reference plane. I'm just going to adjust this reference plane, and then I click OK. I'm going to draw it over. That's for my ground floor slab. I'm going to go to the next floor, which is this one. And then I'm going to do the same thing here again. I'm going to go back to my setting, but this time I'm working with 150 slab thickness. I'm going to check this box. So the ceiling material is going to show. And then I'm going to now change the reference plane to bottom. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want just look at the annotation here, you will understand it better. From the ground floor to the base of the slab is 0 from this current story. And then from there, the thickness of the slab extrudes up. But if I select the top reference plane, what it means is that from the ground floor to the top of the slab is 0, and then it extrudes down. So that's just the definition, the reason for that, those two settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now I'm going to draw it from the inside. And then I'm going to bring it all the way to this part. And then I click OK. Next thing I want to do is just to adjust this area of my stair because I don't want it to be covered. I'm going to come here, insert a new node. I'm going to click on it. And I'm just going to offset this edge all the way here. I think that's it. Next thing I want to do is just to play with this front a little bit. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to come to insert a new node. I'm going to do that here, and then I'm going to drag it outside just a little bit. Then I'm going to just complete this edge so it's a bit more uniform. Next thing I want to do is to do the same thing for this last roof plan, because there's like a what's it called now? There's a roof over that area. There's a slab, sorry, over that large area. There's a slab. I think I made a mistake with this design here. So let me just correct it, adjust it to the stop. I pick up parameters. Yeah, I think that's how it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to now just draw my slab over this roof floor, right? Because there's a door that comes out from the stairway into that area. So I'm going to go to slab tool. I'll retain my current settings. Just going to draw it over. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I want to cut out my stair area because it's not supposed to be covered. Offset edge. Alright, I think let's see what we've done so far. Alright, just nice little adjustments and designs there. Alright, now let's move to the ground floor and then make those minor adjustments. If I go to my ground floor, first thing I want to do is okay, there's an error here. Yeah, there's an error I've noticed. This wall is not supposed to go, it's supposed to be separated from the wall above. So I'm going to click on the wall. That's this edge wall the one that is currently selected. And click on this. Next thing I want to do is just to unlink this 0. Then I want to do the same thing. Just click OK first. This wall, I don't think this wall exists. Yeah, this wall doesn't exist. Let me delete that wall. I don't think it exists. So I'm going to go to my first floor. The wall has gone out, so I select this wall. I just cover that open area. All right, let me go back to my ground floor. Now I would like to do something, some minor adjustment. I want to see the floor above. So to do that, I'll come to the trace tool, choose reference, and then I'll say above current story. The reason is because according to the design that I'm currently looking at, this wall is supposed to start from the edge. It's supposed to tally with this part here. So I'm just going to drag it to this bottom, and then I'll just complete this area, and then I complete this area too. Then I complete this area too. So the next thing I think I should do now is to create this slab over this area. But first, let me adjust the height of these walls. So if I select this wall, and this one, holding my shift key, if I go to the wall settings, what I'm going to now do is to adjust the height of the wall, because the wall is not getting all the way to the next story. It's going to terminate at a certain distance. Now, there are two ways to do that. If you want to add to an existing wall within a story, you can go ahead and type like a figure 500. If you do that, the height is going to increase. The wall height, you see the wall height has gone up. If you say minus 500, the wall height is going to reduce also. So that's a technique we're going to use. Now, I want to offset the height of the wall down by a factor of minus 300. If I do that, and then I click OK. Now, the next thing I want to do is to just cover up that area. To do that, I'm going to use the slab tool. I'll click on the slab tool. I'm going to, I think I have to select all of them. I chain it into one surface. I think stucco white rough, because it has to have that the similar color with the main principal color of the building. So I'm going to cover this top. I think I should do it from the inside. Select it, and then I just extrude it over this area. Let's see what we've done in the 3D. All right, so just something nice. Oh, I think I mistakenly drew it on the wrong place. I'm going to go to settings. I'm supposed to draw this on the floor above, and then I'm going to subtract the 300 minus 300 because that's the height of the wall below. No, sorry, this is 150. No need to even make that 150. I think 100 is fine. And then I just do minus 300 for that height. And then I click OK. Check the 3D. Okay, it's not perfectly lapped. I think I need to take that down minus 400. And that's because of the reference plane that we're working with. That's probably the reason why it's not seamless. Yeah, I need to now cover this area here. I think I need to cover that. I can easily do that with a wall, right? I can draw a new wall, pick up, I can just cover this place, outside face. I can cover, no, sorry, escape. What? I mistakenly, the line was not straight, so that's why I needed to change that. So what I'm just going to do is just to raise. This is actually a longer method. You could have done that. I could have done that in like 2 clicks, but decided to take the longer route. So I'm just going to raise this area at the bottom by 2,500 just to have that top part covered, because it doesn't need to be big. 2,700, sorry. The wall is not going to show on the floor plan. That I just wanted to cover like this portion of the wall. All right, so the next thing I want to do now is to, I think there's a small disconnect here. That's why that wall does not seem to flush seamlessly. These things can be adjusted later anyway, just a small disconnect. That's why I wasn't flushing easily. So now I want to just create the opening, the main opening at the entrance of the building. The main opening at the entrance of the building. I think that's a door opening is going to suffice for that. So I'm going to use the door tool. Then I'm going to use an empty door opening, rectangular door. I'm going to click OK. Just have the door placed here, and then I can manually click on the opening and then just stretch it across the width of that whole entrance area. That, yeah, just to like stretch it across the width of that entrance area. I think that should suffice. See what we've done so far. We've opened up this front part of the building. I think this height is not quite what we're looking for, basically. We ought to click this and make sure it aligns properly to this wall. Right. Now the next thing I want to do is to just increase the height, this height basically, because it's not supposed to be that short. If I make that 2,600, I think that's it, something reasonable. All right, so the next thing I want to do is to just create a slope down, and then just play with the entrance a little bit. There are different ways to create a slope. You could do that easily with a mesh tool. I think that's the easiest way to do that. So I'm going to go to mesh tool. I'm going to select, what's the floor? I think I should just use a concrete material. Concrete, let's say 04. You could always change the materials later anyway. You can always change the materials later. Now for the height of the mesh, I'm going to give it let's say 500, and then I keep that at 0. All right, and then I'm going to click OK. Now there are two different ways to do that. I'm going to use the easier method, the geometry sloped. Click on it once. I'm going to come to this part, and I'm just going to create, the slope is just across where the car is supposed to like drive into the driveway, the driveway. Then I click OK. No, let me first create the step up so I'll have like a proper reference to work with. So hold off on that first. Pick up parameters. I'm going to use the slab to create the entry risers to the building. Basically, they're about 2. I could just do 2 of them. So the width is going to be 1,500. The tread for that, I use my tab to just do dimension 1 and dimension 2, by the way. The tread for that can be 300, and then I click OK. Then I'm just going to adjust the dimensions of this. The slab thickness for the first one will be 300. I'm going to take it down by a factor of -150. I'm adjusting it from the top here. You could see these settings. That's where I'm adjusting the settings from. And then I click OK. I'm going to right click. I'm going to move and just drag a copy of this down here. And then I'm going to come here, adjust it again, 150. Come here, -300. That are just quick settings for how to create like risers up there. All right, now the next thing I want to do is to just make this just do this slope into the building. I think there's a small slope. Yeah, there's a gentle slope there. So slab tool, no, not slab tool, we're using the mesh. The mesh is what we use for that. All right, so concrete, yeah, settings are still there. Click OK. I wanted to have like a precise spot there. I think that's why I decided to go that route. Now this is where you just quickly adjust the settings. There are 3 different mesh corner elevations that you need to consider. The Z1 is the first corner, so that one is going to be -450. Taking it down to the, I'm taking it -450 down from the edge, because you know we started it at 0, so the bottom edge would be -450. And I think it takes a while to actually understand that, but yeah, I think that's how it is. And then the top is going to be 0. And then I click OK. And then just slope down. I think it's a bit too sharp. Yeah, that's too sharp. If a car is driving up there, it's probably going to cause a problem. I think I should I think I should do something. It's a bit too sharp. I can adjust that. No, let me do that now, because it might be a concern later on. So it's too sharp, so what we do is just to like do another one, but then make it 300, make it a slope of 300 instead of a slope of 150. So click OK, and then I'm going to do this. What that means is that the external I come to geometry sloped. The reason we're using 300 is that the external area is going to be affected. We're not going to be starting at -450, we're going to be starting at -300 now. So I think one riser is going to need to go. Minus 300. Yeah, so when we do our external land area, right, this is going to start from here, this edge. So we just have 2 risers. I think that's fine. All right, let's proceed. I think we're spending too much time here. There's a window that I was supposed to put at the kitchen that I didn't put. Go to the ground floor, pick up parameters. Again, these windows are not exactly the window that the windows that we have in the design, but I don't like those windows. I don't know why I don't like it. All right, so the next thing we want to do is just to beautify everything a little bit. So I'm going to now create that fancy design in front. Different ways to do it. I could use a wall, or I could use columns. I think let me just use columns. It's easier to manage. Where's the column? Yeah, column. So small bits of columns. These are not structural columns. These are just fancy columns for the engineers that are following before you crucify me. Small bits of columns. I think that's just going to be. I think there are no dimensions here, right? So I'm just going to work 2 inches. So that's 50 by, the other one can be 75. Let's see how that looks like. You can always adjust it if it's not perfectly what we want. Go back to settings, unlink it, so 50 by 75. I just make it easier for me. I do 75 by 50. All right, I'm trying to just create that couple of vertical elements that form that design at the external components of the building. All right, so I'm going to do this. It's too high, so if I click on that, go back to my column settings, go to positioning. Let me just say not linked. I think it's easier to work with. So I have the height of 2,600. Is that it? That's not it. I think that's fine. Now it's not, again, I don't have like a precise dimension to work with, so I'm just working from what I think is appropriate. I think this is small, so I should do 100, so it's a bit bigger on the other side, and then I can just do 60 or 65. All right, drag it. Let's give it. There's an easier way to do this in terms of like the spread. If you're trying to understand how spreads work, like if you want to just multiply it using an array, but I don't want to. I'm trying to keep this class as basic as possible, so just drag multiple copies. Oh, that might be difficult since it's not uniform. I don't have like. Okay, let's do this. We are going to use 50. We are going to use 50. It's easier to understand dragging multiple copies and then just imputing numbers. So the first one is going to be 100. Second one is going to be 200. The third one is going to be 300. Because it's in multiples of 50, right? So it's easier to just, understand those different spacings. 600. How many is? Okay, I don't have enough. 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Do I have enough? I think it's supposed to. It's supposed to still come up a little bit, or maybe my spacings are even too close. This is just an illustration. If you're doing yours, you could be more creative with. Yeah, this is actually difficult. I don't recommend this. I'll probably do a separate video where I explain different ways of copy and drag copies, so you understand there are much easier methods of doing this than what I'm doing now. All right, I think that's it. No, that's it. Let's just leave it at that, because it's supposed to be way easier than this, right? But let's just leave it at that. All right, so we are just going to tweak the upper floor a little bit so our design starts coming to life. All right, so let's go to the top floor and I don't want this video to be too long, so let's just do a little adjustment before we close this video. So on the first floor, I just want to add these couple windows and doors, and then we can end the class there. So I'm going to go to window tool. I think the window that I have there, it's a big window. It feels like how many planes? 1, 2. It's 4. Yeah, the one that I have there according to the design is 4. So I'm going to use 4 just to have that 1,600 for the height, 500 for the sill to story. Yeah, that's uniform, so I don't need to worry about that. Uniform frame width. Always like having uniform frame width. Personal choice. I have a window handle there. I don't want fixed glasses, so now side hung, because I may need to like open up a window or two for my rendering. If I want to do like the rendering, I may need to just open it up. So I'm just changing the sash types to a different type of opening. Yeah. All right. Wait. Okay. I think I'm in order. So I'm going to make this gray. Yeah, dark gray. That's the color I used before. That's it. And then I'm going to just place that window here. All right. Next thing I want to do is just like create a small wall around it. Just like create a small wall around it according to what I have in the design, that is. So I'm going to go to wall tool. I'm going to go to wall. I'm going to go to no, those walls are, I think 75 thickness. It's not linked. I think the height is so dwarf wall is smaller than the height of the sill, so it's going to be, say, 400. 400 feels much. Let's say 400. And the model, it's a stone. Is it stone? Yeah, kind of have like a stone colored, something like that. And then I'm just going to draw just a little bit of allowance from the window. Apparently there's supposed to be like a flower thingy around it. What's going on there? So 100 is fine. Just a small design there. All right. Now that doesn't feel okay. Let me adjust this. The window is too big, right? So if I take this here and then I make this 1,400, that's not ideal, by the way, but for the purpose of the design, so that small brick material on that pops out a little bit. So 1,400, and then I have to increase the sill to story to 700. What else do I need to adjust there? Yeah, reveal 50, and then that's it. Then if I do that, I can now click this external wall and give it a little bit of height, because it's not, it felt too short, right, compared to what the design shows. So yeah, I think that's okay. So let me place the door so we can end this video, because it's becoming too long. So I have a door coming out from, I think it's called a shrine room. Yeah, it's called a shrine room. So I'm going to go to door. Oh, I could just pick a parameter from this door, so I don't need to do much settings. Pick up parameters from this door. Right click, I go to the first floor, and then I just open it this way. Do I have that? Yeah, I think that's it. Nope, I mistakenly placed 2 doors there. Alright, you can see there's a small error here. Okay, now I understand where the error was coming from. This door is eating down into the bottom slab, so I have to make this, I have to increase the sill to story by at least 150, so it's not sitting into the slab. So it has to just be at the edge, the top edge there. So that's okay. And then I put the, I think I just put the railing on the top floor there. There's a small glass railing. There's a small glass railing there. There's a rail tool, the railing. Let's do a little bit of adjustment. I come to the I click on the balustrade, and then I just delete it. I remove balustrade. I come to panels, and then I add a panel there, a glass panel kind of. Yeah, I think that's it. Do I even need? I don't need this first handrail, because I already have a top rail there, or a handrail. I mean, I can have both of them. It's nice. It's a nice design. The railing settings is actually a lot more complex, but I don't want to dwell so much on this because I want us to move a little bit faster. So I'm just going to adjust the height, and then I'm just going to click OK. So the height of my railing, I'm going to use 900, and then I'm going to click OK. I'm drawing the railing from the edge here, and then I'm going to just, yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's an error in the placing. I have to do that again. Where's my railing? Rail tool. Keep forgetting what that looks like. I don't want to have an error there. I think it's trying to read the slab as like a it's trying to follow the path of the slab, so that's why it's giving me that error. And then I click on it. I just take it up by 150. Using it because the slab is positioned in such a way that it's taking a portion of the story height there. All right, so that's it. All right, I think let's end this video here. It's getting too long. We're going to proceed on part 3 of this particular series. Thank you.